Everybody to today's live stream. We're going to be chatting about tool SEO and our brand new feature inside of WriteBlogger, how to use Tool Studio. I'm Ryan Robinson, one of the co-founders. I'm joined by Andy Felicotti, my other
Hi.
co-founder here.
And I'm co-founder too. Yeah.
That is indeed what you are.
Sorry, I'm making sure the stream is going correctly, so I'm kind of distracted here.
Well, we're super stoked to talk with all you guys here today. Thank you for joining us live. We see a few of y'all already in the chat. So we'd love to hear, where are you tuning in from? If you're watching us live, let us know where you're watching from. I'm in Venice Beach, Los Angeles, California, where it is not a sunny spring day today. It is like pouring rain outside, which is kind of nice every now and then too. Andy, what's up in St. Louis today?
It's a beautiful sunny day. We got your weather. It's almost 70 degrees here.
Nice. Stealing all the sunshine. Love it.
Where's everybody else tuning in from?
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. If you want to drop in, we got Karen
New Hampshire.
in New Hampshire. All right.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. Tom.
Okay, Sandwich, Illinois is a great name.
Oh my gosh, that is a great name. Tom, are there any good sandwich shops in Sandwich, Illinois? I feel like that's an obvious yes.
A lot of New Hampshire.
Yeah, I'm very curious if there's anyone like having some fun with the puns in Sandwich, Illinois. I feel like that's a no-brainer. It's too good. Oh, this is awesome. We got Floating Lotus. Hey, from New Hampshire. Thank you for joining. Kelly, Table Rock, Missouri. Yeah. Oh, love it.
DC.
DC. Nice. Ankit from India. Yes. Thank you for joining from the other side of the world. So awesome. The Mindful Neuro in Ohio. Yeah, Tom, Sandwich, Illinois. There's got to be like a lot of inside jokes there. It's too good. Cool. We've got Portia from Goose Creek, South Carolina. Awesome. Thank you for joining us. I love South Carolina. It's beautiful. All right, guys. Please keep tuning in the chat if you want to drop in where you're watching from as you join. We would love to hear. We love really just seeing like where everyone is at around the world. It's so cool to know that we've got connections with so many of y'all, and we would love to hear from you here. We also recently opened up our private Discord community for anyone who uses WriteBlogger and wants to join this private community where Andy and I spend a lot of time. You can chat directly with us. You can network with other people who are content creators, bloggers, marketers, small business owners. We share AI news. People talk about their challenges, their struggles. The two of us will pop in with some tutorial videos. We give advice in there for free. Really, if you're just into building an online business, it's a pretty good place to spend some time. You can join our Discord by going to writeblogger.com/discord, DISCORD, and you'll be able to join that community. And we'd love to have you in there, all of y'all. So without further ado, we're going to get started with our topic here for today. As always, the policy is if you feel something, if you think something, ask it. We want to encourage you guys to ask any questions you have. Typically, if it's related to our topic, that's even better. Tool SEO, how to drive traffic to free tools and use them as a source of lead generation for your business. That's kind of the core of what we're going to be talking about, but we're going to be discussing all things Tool Studio. I'm going to walk us through some examples of tools, some screenshots, and some behind the scenes peeks at my analytics, my email list to show you guys, okay, here's how free tools drive real traffic. Here's some of the benefits of them, and all the other downstream things that can happen when you're driving traffic to tools on your website. And Andy will pop over. He'll show more of the detailed nuance of how to build a free tool using Tool Studio. And from there, we want to hand it over to you guys. We want to spend a lot of time on Q&A in this session in particular. So to kick off our Q&A in the chat for now, we'd love to hear, if we could do a poll, that'd be awesome. Have you taken Tool Studio for a spin yet inside Right Blogger? We'd love to know. Have you tried Tool Studio? Have you made your first embeddable tool and gotten it hosted on your website yet? We see a lot of okay, we got some action already in the chat, some no's. Okay. Mostly no's so far, but
Yeah,
if you want to
mostly
vote,
no. Which is
please
good because
do.
we're gonna go step by step here and show you actually how to make a tool and how it works and why you would want to have a tool in your blog.
Perfect timing. No is a very fair answer, but we've got some cool examples we want to show you guys. So, without further ado, Andy, do you want to add anything before I hop in and start showing off some examples of what you can do?
I think you're the expert, and you should just go with it.
Hey, you built it.
Fair. Shh.
All right, guys, I'm going to share my screen here, and we are going to start by taking a peek at the Tool Studio page. So if you haven't taken this feature for a spin yet, please do. It's only available to Right Blogger Pro subscribers. So if you're on one of our paid plans, you'll be able to use this feature. The Pro plan, which is our basic Right Blogger subscription, $29.99 a month or $24.99 a month if you're on the annual plan, that's going to unlock 3 tools for you. You'll be able to have 3 active embedded tools that are set up working on your website and able to capture email leads from it. And then we've got additional plans that we've rolled out for if tools are working for you. Again, start with just the basic plan, in my opinion. Don't jump to an expensive plan with, 10 to 25 different embeddable tools. Prove out this strategy that it's going to work for you before you upgrade and unlock a bunch more tools. But if this does work well for you, we can accommodate that already, because we have dozens and dozens of tools that all drive a lot of traffic and leads for our business. So obviously, we're very pro this feature, but if you want to check it out, go to rightblogger.com/tool/studio. If you're on the pro plan, you'll be able to see this. You'll be able to make your first tools right now. So if you are watching and you want to make some tools, alongside us here, feel free to do so. That is awesome. And just to show you real quick, I'm going to pop open one of the tools here that we're going to show you an example of where I have it hosted on my hiking blog. So this is a tool. This is a Yosemite day hiking planner tool. Here's what it looks like when it's embedded over on my hiking blog. And I have long created content on this site talking about my favorite US national parks. And I've shared different hikes I've gone on. I've made some videos. I've taken a lot of photos myself. I grew up pretty near to Yosemite. And so for me, this blog is kind of this natural expression of like, hey, I love doing outdoor stuff. I love helping people. People ask me, hey, what are the best trails in such and such park? And so tools are a natural part of the content equation for me now because I get these questions that are related to which hikes should I do. And this is a nice tool that I made to help people answer this question for themselves based on a bunch of different inputs, like how long do you want to hike? What's your fitness level? What are your goals? How many people are in your group? Are there any special considerations to take into account? And so Tool Studio inside Right Blogger is something that allows us to do this, to accommodate for it. And we're going to let Andy get into the weeds on sort of the behind the scenes, how to make a tool like this here in a few minutes, as I show you some more examples. But this is just what it looks like. You have the tool overview here. You can click into the fields section and make edits to everything about the tool that you've created here. But what we want to highlight is that this is a super easy thing to make. You start by
And
just
it
describing it.
does look really complex though, I will admit, but
It
it's
does.
very, yeah, we'll show you it is very simple. It's just a lot of fields in one spot.
Exactly. It's way simpler than it looks when you just look at it on my screen there. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. I want to show you a couple more examples. So this is an example of me embedding this first tool I made onto a dedicated page of my hiking blog. And the intention of putting a tool on a dedicated page is to drive SEO traffic to it. So I want this page to rank in Google searches and other search engines for something like Yosemite day hike planner. That's a really cool use case. It's pretty niche also, which is what I like about it. It's a replicable thing. I could have a Yellowstone day hike planner. I could have a fill in the blank any national park, any place where people do hiking and whatnot. And so theoretically, I could have hundreds of tools on my site that all drive a bunch of different niche traffic sources. And again, something that makes cool tools really cool is that they're interactive. And so I'll show you here in my Google Analytics in a second how much time people spend on tools and using them multiple times. This is a thing that search engines really like to reward, in addition to, hey, you're creating something cool for other real people to interact with and spend time with. So this is an example of a free tool embedded on a landing page that's designed to rank for some SEO keywords that people are searching for. And here's an example of the exact same tool embedded inside a blog post I have that's on the topic of my favorite hikes in Yosemite. And so you don't need to just publish a tool on a landing page and say, okay, it's going to do its thing there. You can also make your blog posts more interactive, more engaging, more interesting. And what I found when you embed tools inside of blog posts is that you really have the opportunity to increase the time on page, the amount of time that someone is spending on your blog post instead of just reading the blog post or maybe watching a short video or something that you have on the page. People also have the opportunity to interact with a tool that's related to what they're here looking for solutions or entertainment on. And so this is something where the direct correlation to the topic, use my day hike planner for Yosemite to plan your favorite hike. Don't just take my word for it. Type in the things that you want to do and see and what you want out of it and get your own agenda. I like that. Andy, do you want to add anything at this stage?
No, I don't think so. I like the breakdown of like having a dedicated tool page and putting something specifically in the blog post.
Yeah, I think that's a really important factor because you can get so much mileage out of a tool that you've made. Maybe I have like several posts about Yosemite on this blog. And so that's a tool that I should probably consider adding into more of these posts on my site. But I want to show you
And
guys.
you should note that you can put it anywhere in the post. So you can put it all the way at the bottom if you want, or like right at the top, like how Ryan has it.
Good
So you
point.
can make
You get a
something
nice
really
little embed
specific
kit.
to a specific section, you know?
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. I'm talking for a long time, so let me breeze through a couple more examples and then we can hop over to how to make these tools. I wanted to show this one real quick. This is from Chad. He's one of our Right Blogger customers. He has a blog called The Literary Compass, and it's all about book reviews, things he's learned from his favorite authors and writings. And he's building out a really nice space for himself online where he helps people find books that are going to be interesting and relevant to them. And so he recently made this AI book recommender tool. Use this free tool to get recommendations. Let's just say science fiction, because I'm a nerd like that. And we want to see what this is going to generate. And this is this is an example of a landing page version of a free tool. So Chad is going after ranking for AI book recommender. And we can see here we've got Dune, which is on my, you can't see it, but it's on my bookshelf right behind the camera here. Ender's Game is a classic. Foundation, so good. And so all of this is controlled behind the scenes inside Tool Studio. And we'll show you how that's done in a minute. Let me show you one more example. Oh, we got two more. This is from Bonnie, another Right Blogger customer who runs a super cool blog in such an interesting niche that I had never even heard of, but freeze drying. She gets a lot of people coming to her website, and shout out Bonnie. I know you'll see this, but let's just type in bananas. Let's see if we can freeze dry it. And if so, how? So items, bananas, can it be freeze dried? Yes. Explanation, kind of the why, and then tips. Peel and slice the bananas into even pieces. If you've ever made banana bread yourself and you've thrown bananas into the freezer without peeling them first, you probably won't forget that lesson. But this is really nice. This is something that's helpful that would help me, if I were doing this for the first time, avoid the issue of trying to peel a frozen banana, which, oof, maybe that's a poll question. Have y'all tried to peel a frozen banana on accident before?
Also, I like
Okay.
what Daniel said about the Yosemite tools. You should have a drop down for do you have bear spray?
Oh, there we go. Yes, Daniel. I love that. Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, that's a really good one. Do you have bear spray is very smart because that one depends on season, right? Which is a really nice one. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, last example we wanted to show here real quick. This is for a niche website that Andy and I run, smartwp.com. I say Andy and I, but I'm pretty sure Andy's done like 90+% of the content for this site, but free tools are now in the mix here. And, the core principle here that we wanted to just show you guys, let's just say benefits of remote work and see what it does here, is that if you have a niche website that supports a business behind it, regardless of what that business is, maybe you're a coach, a consultant, you're a freelancer, or you're just trying to make passive income from your blog, you sell courses, things like that, it doesn't really matter so much. As long as you have pain points that you can solve for people that are related to your niche and the topics that you create content around, that you have a business in, figure out what some of those challenges are, and free tools can help you a lot with that. And I mean, this is a pretty like I'd say high level first draft kind of post, but we've got some really nice helpful things in here that are specific to WordPress, right? So the focus keyword, you can just copy and paste this straight into Rank Math or Yoast SEO, meta title, meta description. Free tools are all about making sure that you are helping people with some sort of challenge they have, and when you do, that creates a really cool opportunity to build relationships with them. So I want to show you some of the benefits now before we hop into how to make a tool, some of the benefits of doing free tools in the first place. We've been talking about this, but over here on my blog, ryrob.com/tools, you can check out all of the different tools I have on my site. Each and every one of these are examples of tool SEO at play. And every single one of these tools also supports the growth of my email list and the growth of my business. Each and every one of these tools is mapped to a tool we also have inside of WriteBlogger. So this is a little bit of a meta example, but I'm sure you can see the through line here. If someone's Google searching, say, paragraph rewriter tool, AI rewriter tool, things like this free tool on my blog is, you can see average position 5.7. It's on page 1 for almost all the terms related to paragraph rewriter. And that brings people to this free tool page. When you do a Google search or you come across a YouTube video we've made or a social post that, talks about how to use this tool, if you just paste in some content you want to rewrite, you can play with the writing style here, the language, you can rewrite it. These are all things that you can do pretty much exactly as is inside WriteBlogger. With Tool Studio, it'll just look a little bit different. And as you can see here, you get a nice little rewritten paragraph. And that provides some pretty cool value to people. And you can see here, we'll talk about this a little bit after the how to build a tool segment, what makes for a successful tool landing page if you want to actually rank high and drive traffic to it from search engines. We'll get to that a little bit later, but basically, making a great free tool is the first starting point. And the last thing I wanted to show you guys was that free tools drive insane amounts of traffic. This is just for my blog. This is just the free tools. You can see in the past 30 days, we've had 834,000 views, most of which have been on my free tools. And you can see here what I really wanted to show you. And I apologize if you have to squint here, but the average time per active user, this is essentially what used to be called average time on page in Google Analytics, is super high for tool pages compared to just blog posts. For example, most of these free tool pages are clocking something like 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, almost 10 minutes, whereas blog posts are much more like 2 minutes. We've got blog posts that are 1 minute. That's pretty common, honestly. 1 minute, 2 minute blog posts versus 5 minute, 8 minute tool page. 8-minute tool pages, 6 minutes, 5 minutes. As you can see, the trend is pretty clear that tool pages get a lot more time on your page. And that's something that Google really, really likes. If people spend a lot of time on your page, if they're doing multiple events, running a tool multiple times, that's kind of a signal that they're clearly getting a lot of value from the page. So tools are this like incredible win-win-win thing. And last screen here, I just wanted to show you, this is where I collect email subscribers inside kit.com for my blog. And you can see on average, somewhere between 30 and 70 something new subscribers join my list every day. This is almost entirely thanks to free tools. So someone who uses a free tool wants to use it some more or wants to just get access to all the tools I have, and I'll send you an email with kind of a collection of my favorite tools, some commentary. They sign up for my email list. And this has been a really nice email list growth strategy for us. In addition to just the SEO traffic, we're growing our email lists faster across the board. And again, this is just for one site. This also all ends up supporting Right Blogger, which is my related business. And so when you're thinking through how tools can be used to grow your business, that's where we'd love to talk with you. So if you want to pop into the chat, if you want some help with brainstorming tool ideas, feel free to do so. We want to make some time for Q&A towards the end of this session. So if you have a niche where you want a little bit of help thinking about, hey, what's a good tool idea for my niche? Go ahead and pop it into the chat. We'd love to hear it. And, I'll just shout this out too, in case we don't get to everyone's questions or help everyone brainstorm tool ideas today. Please join our Discord group. That's where we would love to continue the conversation. Rightblogger.com/Discord. It's free to join for Right Blogger, even if you're a free user, paid user, doesn't matter. We want to have everyone in there who's interested in growing through content. So with all of that being said, Andy, want to take over showing some tools, or do we have some questions? We might have some questions stacking
Yeah,
up.
I think the question about the pricing is really good. I'm going to bring that on screen here. If you want to show the
Oh,
pricing
good.
page and just explain a little bit of who can use this.
Cool. Let me stop sharing my screen, and you can share yours if it's helpful too.
Wow, you're throwing me under the bus here. Hold on.
Oh, do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, just the pricing page, just real quick.
Okay. Cool. Let's come back. We don't leave anyone under the bus in this household. Okay. So let's go to the studio pricing page. All right. You can find this at rightblogger.com/studio.
So
Cool.
if you currently have a pro subscription, which everybody right now, if you have a subscription, you're on that one. So you can use it. And we have another question here. Is there a limit to how many uses? Currently, no, but we do have a limit on the amount that one person can use in an hour. So if someone does it like 20 times in an hour, they'll start getting an error just because we can't let people, unlimited use tools on your site. But that's basically how it works from our end. But right now we have no like hard limits on how things function, stuff like that.
Yeah, this is a very new feature. So this is like a great time to get in on using this and like learn with us, ask questions, share your feedback. We're making changes to this pretty much daily based on feedback we've been getting from people already. So please use it. If something breaks, let us know. If you have an idea for how something could function better, that's always great too. But on the Right Blogger Pro plan, this is, if you're a Right Blogger customer, this is the plan you're on. If you're paying for a plan, this is the one you're on right now. You can make up to 3 actively embedded custom AI tools right now. And like I said earlier, please validate that this is a working strategy for your business, that you're driving traffic or that it's helping you generate more email leads for your email list. It's helping move the needle somehow on a core business metric of yours. And then that's when I would recommend upgrading to one of our other plans. Studio Pro unlocks up to 10 tools, some increased functionality. You can remove the Right Blogger branding. There's a little Powered by Right Blogger thing that comes on the tools when you're on the Right Blogger Pro plan. But Studio Pro allows a little bit more customization flexibility, and Studio Business is going to be very similar, just up to 25 actively embedded tools at a time. So if you run multiple websites, if you own a digital agency and you have a bunch of clients that work for you, and you want to manage several tools for them at a time and have them kind of segmented by different projects, that's an option. If you're, maybe a software company and you're running a content team and you've got budget and hey, we can drive traffic to tool pages. That's kind of more who the Studio Pro Studio Business is for, at least right now. If you're just starting out, if you're a blogger, really validate that tools can drive traffic and move the needle in your business before you jump to an expensive plan. And I say that because I remember the people who sold me on plans for products that I didn't really need back when I was first getting started and I didn't know what I was doing. And so we really want to guide you towards what's best for you. If you've got questions, feel free to ask in the chat, or if you want to ask privately, you can ask us in the Discord too.
And for the higher end plans, if you have access to a developer or are a developer yourself, we plan on adding an API so you can basically just like really customize things.
Yeah. And we are adding, Andy, I think you're working on like the ability to sort of control more visual elements like button colors and background colors and things like that.
And that'll all be available in all of the plans. So we definitely want to have it so you can pick the button color and things like that. This is also a good question here. Is there a tool to identify tool ideas? Yes, and well, kind of, but we'll show you in a minute here.
Yes.
Oh,
Over here,
yeah, as Ryan has a really good example here.
Yeah, this is kind of our announcement blog post. I'll just pop this into the chat here. If you want to check out this post, pretty close to the top, let me scroll a bit here. In the how to make embeddable AI tools with Tool Studio section, we have a tool idea generator right here. And I'll just type in, let's say you run a yoga blog or you have a yoga studio and you want to, drive more traffic to your website based around yoga topics. It's going to come up with a bunch of tool ideas for you. So a yoga sequence generator, daily affirmation builder, yoga class title creator, pose description assistant, meditation topic explorer. These are all just examples. And if you don't like the ones that come up here, you can generate some more ideas or maybe refine it a little bit more. But point is, use this tool idea generator to get some more perspective on how you could make a tool for your niche. And let's see.
And keep in mind, currently we only support like text inputs, but we are going to add the ability to upload an image, so someone can like create a caption from an image that people add. But right now we're just working with text, so you got to think about that too when you're adding them.
Yeah, good point. You did just add, Andy just added the ability for tools to fetch URLs. So if you wanted to, make a tool that would work with someone pasting in the URL to say a YouTube video and it creates a description of the video for them, or it takes, a blog post and it does something with that blog post. Maybe it says, tweet generator, write me 5 tweets based on this blog post. And, if you run a social media blog, shout out to Lisa Patz, one of our customers. Maybe that's a good tool for you too. Okay. Well, I see a bunch more questions here. Karen, will you, let's see, do you ever expand your SEO tools to do Etsy research? That's an interesting one. I don't know if we have the ability for Tool Studio to do keyword research, to do like data type research yet. Andy, what do you know about that?
I would think that question is related to the keyword research tool.
Okay.
We'll look into that, but I don't know if we'll be able to do that. But we do want to add like YouTube and Amazon to that. So this is a great suggestion. So I definitely want to like make sure we note that down.
Okay. Cool.
But you could make an embedded tool that's like, keyword or like Etsy tag generator or a description generator or something like that.
I like that. Kelly asked a really good question. What do you think would be a good tool for my niche? I'm a college prep, admissions, and expressive writing coach. Okay, I think sky's the limit here, honestly, but like think through the problem that the college applicant has, right? Their set of problems, like filling out applications or college finder, like a college finder based on a bunch of inputs you can drop in. I want to go to a small, medium, or big school. I want it to be, West Coast, East Coast, Europe, whatever that is. I think a like college finder tool could be a super cool and interesting one. I mean, you could get into the writing related stuff like college application, question generator, like practice questions. That's what I'm trying to go for here. Not something that fills out your college application for you, but a way that you can practice your questions might be interesting. But yeah, Kelly, if you want to pop into the Discord, ask us over there too, and I can spend a little bit more time thinking with it. Okay. Is there another tool in Rightblogger that can use to help me identify which are the best ideas for tools to put on my site? Okay. I'm a little behind here. I'm just catching up.
What would be a good
Ridwan,
tool for a gardening blog? That's a good
yeah.
question.
Oh, such a good question. I would think my mind at least immediately goes to like what can I plant for the season ahead? So like a
Oh,
spring planting guide could be cool if you're talking about helping your audience figure out, how to plan that like 3 to 6 months ahead for stuff to grow and then make its way into your kitchen. That could be really fun based on region of the world you're in, what the weather conditions are, like stuff like that could be really cool.
you're really good at coming up with the ideas on the spot. Wow.
This is super fun just brainstorming with y'all on the fly about this. So,
I like
yeah.
the dog example too. I think I'm going to show step by step how to make a tool here in a moment, and I think a good example would be like a dog name generator. Or what do you think about something like that?
Oh, I love the idea of a dog name generator because that's so much fun. And I bet you there's a lot of people searching for something like that. And maybe there are some free tools out there that do that. That doesn't mean you can't pursue it too. I think that if you really dial in that landing page, and we'll talk about that if we have some time here later, after we do a tool tutorial, we'll talk about how to dial in that landing page. But if you really like nail your SEO basics on a, dog name generator tool landing page, I think that one could kill it. But, also something that gives you maybe some advice around like what stage your puppy is, like a new puppy training guide could be a super interesting thing based on, and what makes a tool so good at this is that you can really customize it. So based on dog breed, age that you got them, maybe a drop down too of like what their temperament is like. Are they calm already? Are they super active and hyper? Maybe a drop down where you say, are they food motivated or toy motivated? So something that can really personalize the experience for your people. I hope that's a helpful example.
And you're even able to edit the prompt so you can kind of guide the AI. Like if your, blog has a certain logic it goes by for puppies, they always do this way. You can kind of give AI guidance on that.
Oh, I love it. Cool. Well, I'll keep an eye on the chat. Andy, do you want to show how to actually make a tool? And obviously, as y'all have questions, if you see something, say something. If you're not sure what we're doing, call it out, ask. We're happy to pause and give commentary on anything here.
And I know I talk really fast, so it's definitely okay to tell me to slow down, especially since you're right here, Ryan. You let me know if I'm going too quick or anything.
Cool.
But yeah, let's get to the fun part here and make a tool. So on the sidebar here, you can see Tool Studio. Right now we have it at the bottom, but we plan on moving it higher up. But you can also favorite the Tool Studio if you want and have it in your favorites, like every other tool. And you can see here, I already have a few made. Let's go with the example of the dog name generator. I think that's a really good one, just because things that are brainstorming related are a really, really good way to go about this.
Yeah, if you can somehow come up with basically an idea generator for people related to something in your niche or a series of things in your niche, that's a really good use case for free tools like this.
And if you're like completely blank, we use data from your account and actually have a little area here where you can generate examples if you're kind of struggling. And yeah, if you're not getting a good example here, definitely shoot us an email and we could definitely brainstorm with you or join the Discord like Ryan was talking about. And you can see I'm just generating a few here. And we also have a list of tips that kind of help you along with making a tool. But let's go with the dog name generator. So I'll write that out here. And so we could just write that, like very basic, just dog name generator, and it'll go with kind of whatever it thinks would work here. But I want to make this kind of simpler. So Ryan, think with me. Should we? It should be one field, I think. I prefer tools that have one field. So maybe like the not mood of your dog, or describe your dog, or
Ooh, maybe
names
breed.
you.
Something that
Okay,
works with
let's see.
breed could be good.
Based on a dog breed from a text input. Something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good start. And the best thing about tools is you can always personalize it, add more stuff to it later.
Yeah. Let me also make I like doing a little bullet list and kind of guiding it more. We can say like make one of the options silly. Make one of the options serious. I want a total of 10 dog name ideas. So the more detail you give here, the better results you're going to get. You basically just want to give it more guidance. So then when the user is using the tool on your site, they're not just randomly given something. So defining 10 and things like that is a really good way to go here. So I think this is good. Ryan, do you have any suggestions here?
This is
or
a
anything I
good
should
first
add?
start. This is perfect.
Okay, let's create the tool here. Takes a couple seconds.
Do 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 do. Should have had the
I'm like,
music.
I hope it works. All right, cool. So you can see here, we have like a little example on the right, and it says yoursite.com/ and a dog name generator. Like that would be a good permalink for that. And we have the details here. And if you want to show the heading and description and things like that, you can turn that on here. But we really recommend with your CMS customizing the heading and description before the embed, just so Google actually picks up the SEO context of things like that. But this is good if you just want to have something quick and actually show it on the page. You can also change the generate button. What I picked is generate names. I think that's perfect. And you can see here, here's the prompt. Generate 10 creative dog names inspired by the breed. Include a mix of playful, silly, serious options. Make sure one name is serious and one name is... So perfect. That's exactly what we asked for. So let's give it a try here. So let's, I guess we'll do poodle. And we also handle captchas and stuff for you, so you don't get a bunch of spam and things like that. As you can just see that
Oh my
popped up there.
God, Sir Sniff-a-Lot is awesome.
So that's probably the serious one.
Truffle.
But yeah, overall,
I like truffle.
I wonder what it thinks the serious one is. But you could even like change the prompt to write that, like, you know which one is the funny one, or like know which one is your favorite, things like that. And if you ever want to go back and generate the tool all over again, you can click this little eye on the bottom left, and you can see the prompt we used for the tool. So if you want to like delete this tool, go back, start over, you can do that with this. But you can customize everything here. And if you scroll up, you'll see we have a fields option. So here we can actually edit the fields. So if we wanted the like placeholder, for example, instead of saying golden retriever or poodle, I can't think of a dog breed. Can you think of one, Ryan?
Yes, let's say. Well, I was trying to think of one that's
Pug.
easy to spell. Labrador. Pug.
Yeah, do not give me Labradoodle. I'll just say pug. But you can see here I can change the placeholder, and we'll save, and it changes the placeholder here, and I can save that and put it on my site. So if you want to customize, add fields, things like that, you can do that with this. If you add fields though, make sure to go over to the tool overview, and you can see the prompt, the little eye icon here. It actually shows you the variables that are in your tool currently. So right now we only have dog breed, so you can see how it's working there. But this is great if you want to get really complex with it, have a bunch of different variables and things like that and fields. But I don't know about you, Brian. Do you prefer tools with one? I personally like just having the tool with one field. I like to keep it really simple.
I'm such a rabbit hole fan that I like to get super specific when I'm using tools, but with more complexity also comes the opportunity for more things to break or to not be like firing super accurately or super correctly behind the scenes in your tools. So just know, like, have fun with this as you go deeper into it. Like, you might come up with some really cool, interesting, super like intricate tools, but test them yourself in your account. Again, we don't, we're not limiting usage here. So test them, make sure they're working. Embed them on your site and test them on your site too, to make sure that they look right and that it looks like all the instructions in your prompt are being included as you make them. But I mean, to me, there's no tool too complex. You just want to really like balance the delivering of value to the people who land on the tool and want to use it, with not showing them too much to where they like kind of run away scared. So you can overdo it and like scare people off with a tool that maybe requires too much effort. But you know, judge that based on how much you know about your audience too.
That, like, a bad example I think here would be like the amount of names you want returned. Like the user shouldn't need to pick that type of thing. But yeah, definitely play around with it. Like Ryan said, you can definitely make something really complex with this. So are there any questions
Cool.
with just the actual fields part, or I don't think we have any questions or anything at the moment.
No, we're looking good. But if you
Cool.
guys do have questions, pop in anytime. Do you want to show more of the features of what you can do on an individual too?
I do, but I want to note real quick, if you don't have a site, or you just want a tool in WriteBlogger, you can also, after making the tool, as you can see here, you can also click Use Tool, and you can actually use it in WriteBlogger. So if you just wanted a tool in WriteBlogger, you could generate it with this, which is pretty cool. But the main purpose here is to embed them on your site and get people using them. So I'm going to go back to Edit here. And yeah, the next field here is the call to action. So with this, we can do two things. We can get people's email after they use the tool, or we can just have a call to action to a link. Maybe you have like a sales page or something like that you're want to push people to. You could do that with the custom text option. And in here, you can pick a heading, the custom text, the link, and the button text. Ryan, do you think we should fill this out to show the example, or I think that's just a quick overview is
Pretty self-explanatory. A good use case for this though is like, basically this is going to display right above the output of the tool when someone enters all their stuff. It'll appear just above everything else that comes out. And the intention here is, if you want to direct someone to a related like lead magnet on your site, or send them to a page where they can sign up for your free course, download your free ebook, something like that. That's kind of the intention here. Basically, you want to deepen the relationship with someone who just came to your site, just used their tool. This is the opportune moment to ask them something that brings them closer into the fold of what you do. And maybe that means they're signed up for your email list, they get your content updates, or that means they're a qualified lead for whatever your business is. That's kind of how to think about this section.
Yeah, like for this tool, a really good one would be like, read my dog training guide. That would be like a great one there. You can also do email capture, and what this does is it adds a email box right after the field after a person uses it, like Ryan said, and people can enter their email address, and you'll be given a list of the emails right here that you can export and bring over to your email provider. And we are working on some integrations, so we're definitely planning on having things like MailChimp, Kit.com, so the emails go directly to those sources. But for right now, if you want to get emails, you'll have to get them in a table, and they'll show up here, and you can easily move those over to your platform of choice.
And we'd love to hear from you, especially in the Discord, but in the chat, if you want to pop in too. What tool do you guys use to manage your email list? Are you using Kit? Are you using Beehive, Substack, MailChimp? There's so many out there that as we figure out which tools we want to integrate with, so you can send email subscribers straight to your list, we want to know which ones you guys use. So feel free to pop that into the chat here, or share with us in Discord. We'd love to hear.
And that's the big reason why we did the custom text, because for me, like, I don't have an email list personally, but having the ability just to have like a link to something, that is really nice. I see Kelly uses Kit. So yeah, Kit is the first one. MailerLite, that's a good one too.
Ooh,
Cool.
MailerLite is a good one.
Still working on the integration part, but we'll definitely have those there. But for now, the email capture works great.
And I believe we're also, Andy loves when I sign us up for more stuff to build on live streams, but I know we're making a Zapier integration at some point in time so that you'll be able to kind of like connect. Maybe if you use a more obscure email platform, you'll be able to make a Zap inside Zapier for it too.
And I definitely also want to have like a webhook option where someone, a developer, or if you have access to a developer, can make something more complex. And the next tab is an analytics tab, but since we just made that tool and it has no uses, let's go to the AI article writer. This is the one that Ryan showed on Smart WP. So it has a few uses already. So you can see a couple a day, basically. And right now we have no limits on how many times someone can use the tool. So this is just overall like a great way just to see like how your tool is doing. Are people using it? And most importantly, at the end, the embed code. So you can see here, whatever tool that you're editing, you can get the embed code here. And if you're new to HTML or don't really understand this, it's really simple. So in most WordPress or any CMS editors, you can add an HTML block. So you can just click copy, and then you put that in an HTML block. I'll show you right now, actually. So let's go back over to our dog name generator. And I'm going to go back over to embed code. And I'm going to copy that embed code. Now I'm going to go over to a site I have here. This is just an example site I have, and we'll create a new page. This is WordPress, and it uses the block editor, which is the default editor. So you can make the dog name generator. This would be as if you're making a tool page, but like how Ryan and I showed, you can make it, in your blog post or wherever you want it. So then we can hit the plus here, and we can search for blocks. I'm going to search for HTML. And write HTML. Let me just paste in that code that we just copied. And I'll hit publish. Let's see what we get here. And like Ryan said, you definitely want to have copy on this page. You want to have, I think you want to go over some tips too for that, right?
Yeah, I think now would be a good time to hop in and show some of the like SEO basics, I'd say, for what makes a tool page successful. If you have questions related to more the technical aspects of making a tool, embedding it, calls to action, please ask in the chat. We'd love to field your questions. And if you want to bring those over to Discord, where it's a little bit more private, just between all of us, you can do that over in Discord as well. There's no bad questions, but yeah, I think, maybe let's see. Andy, do you want to go to one of the tool pages on my blog, or maybe I can share my screen and we could talk through some SEO
Sure, I'll stop
basics.
sharing so you can show.
Okay, cool. Let's share screen. Here we go. Okay. So I just want to spend a little bit of time showing some of the SEO basics, things that you want to really dial in for your tool pages. Let me organize my screens. I have too many screens here right now.
And I do want to note that the tools on Ryan's site are like fully custom made. So that's why they don't look like Tool Studio ones. That's kind of why our goal is to have an API. So if you're a more advanced user, you'll have access to make something like this.
Exactly. These were made before we had Tool Studio ready, basically. Is kind of the only reason why. But in theory, you could make a tool very similar to what you're going to find on my blog if you happen to reach the same audience. But I'd say don't make tools exactly like this just to do it. If this relates to your business and how you want to bring people to your website and collect email leads, then definitely go for it. But let's talk elements here. So just like we were talking about, inside Tool Studio, you have the ability to turn on headings. You see that updated over here, and to turn on a description of the tool. You can see that updated here. Both these sections were added. Now, we do not have these turned on by default. When you make a tool, these are toggled off. And the reason we do that is because the way we display a tool, the way we technically display it using JavaScript on your page, is that the heading and the description will not necessarily always be read and understood by search engines like Google. And a really important part of a tool page is to make sure your headers and the description of your tool is actually read and digested by search engine algorithms. And so We recommend doing the header section manually on your own page. I'll just pop this open, show you what it looks like, so that you can see from our end. This is a header I've manually added. This is the H1 for the page. This is what we want it to, rank for. And here's the description that's custom added. And this is where the Tool Studio embed code would be over on your end. But I'll show you a few more of the basics here. Once you've dialed in your header, and again, the header for a tool is pretty much going to be exactly what people are typing into Google, into search engines, if you want to drive SEO traffic. If you're more oriented around driving traffic to your tool pages from existing social media accounts or something, and SEO is not a big deal to you, then maybe you can skip the keyword research step. But I recommend doing keyword research and understanding what someone is searching when they land on a tool, or what the problem is that your tool is solving for them, and really try and nail that in a quick description and a nice snappy header just above the tool. Now we get into the nitty-gritty here. This will not necessarily be for everyone. This is extra credit, or this is when you're ready to really take tool SEO seriously. If you want to invest in getting the most possible traffic, like setting your pages up for the most potential success here, you essentially would want to create a landing page to go along with your tool. And I'll show you the components of a successful tool landing page. So we've got a header here that talks about, basically what the tool does. So one of the most important sections of a tool landing page, and you can see that here, Chad got started on his. We gotta refresh this. Chad got started on his. He has a how it works and why choose our AI book generator. This is the start of his landing page. But, on this tool, this is my much more built out landing page that I've done over the course of, lots of different times editing and improving this page. It didn't look like this when I first published it, but I've got a video tutorial that shows how to use this tool embedded near the top of this tool landing page. There's something special that goes on between Google and YouTube when you've got a video embedded in a blog post or a tool landing page that shows how to use it. I'm convinced that there's some platform advantages on both Google and YouTube when you kind of interlink the tool. So from your YouTube video, link in the description to this tool page. And from this tool page, you've got the video embedded in it. Makes a nice little circle that Google and YouTube like to see, owned by the same company, right? So in addition to a video tutorial and the start of a how-to section, I've got some little images that visually explain what to do, how to do it. I've got formatting elements, bullet points, bold. I've got some internal links to other posts and pages on my site. And then, step one, how to do it. Grab the URL. It may seem overly simplistic, but this is the kind of stuff where maybe some people are actually going to read through this entire guide and get something out of it. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of the content on this page is for search engines more than it is for humans, because a lot of people, they're going to see the tutorial video right here and they're going to watch it, or the tool's going to be pretty self-explanatory. So the landing page for this particular tool, at least, is as much for search engines as it is for real people. And, we don't need to go super deep, but I basically go through an entire step-by-step guide on how to do it. I have a bonus section that is totally for SEO purposes, where I weave in a bunch more related keyword phrases, talking about headers, talking about YouTube, meta descriptions, getting the right length of content. This goes pretty deep. And then, features, I give a little bit more of an explainer of what's going on really behind the scenes here. And then finally, we've got FAQs, and we have a tool inside WriteBlogger, an FAQ generator, that'll be able to go out and source the most related frequently asked questions to any topic you want to type into it. And this is a great way to get those questions and answer them right inside WriteBlogger. You get a first draft of the answer. And so, this is a related question. Should I start a YouTube or a blog first? And this is my answer. So I like to really round these pages off. Pretty much all of them have an FAQ section at the bottom. And this is pretty much pure SEO fuel, but some people have asked these questions too.
And you definitely
So
want to have like a tutorial on how to use it, like a very simple overview.
yeah.
If you're also don't know where to start, what I like to do is actually take a screenshot of the tool you made. So like, after you embed it in your site, you can take a screenshot, and then in WriteBlogger chat, you can just paste the screenshot in and ask it to like, just write me some quick landing page, copy for this and explain how the tool works. And it should do a pretty good job. I think we should probably make an article on that and a prompt so people can easily do all that. And we are working on a landing page like generator, so you'll have a full copy base on the tool. But right now, chat is a great way to do that.
Beautiful. Okay, we are coming up on a full hour together already, guys. So I just want to take another quick look through the chat to make sure that we haven't missed any questions. Now's a great time. If you want to chime in, add any questions based on what we've been talking about here today, please do so. Otherwise, feel free to hop into our Discord, writeblogger.com/Discord. Ask any questions you've got there. That always works too. But Andy, did we miss anything yet?
I think this question here from Alazar asked about using a repository of information in the tool. We currently don't allow that, but I definitely would want to hear more. So definitely send us an email. You can send me one at andy@writeblogger.com. That's an interesting question because I love connecting external data and things like that. But for right now, if you want more complex things like from your site, you can definitely put those in the prompt, like and write out URLs and things like that. For example, you could write like always at the end of whatever you generate, put a link to here, do this. You can include links and things like that.
Great question. I love that. That sounds like a fun rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, y'all. Well, this has been awesome. Thank you for tuning in live. For those of you that catch the recording, feel free to come join us in the Discord group, writeblogger.com/Discord. That's where we're going to be continuing the discussions. You can chat with us one-on-one. You can share, you can ask for tool ideas from the whole community too, get other people to weigh in. We're all kind of on each other's team over there. It's a very like collaborators over competitors kind of space that we've got going on. So we'd love to have you. But for now, we're going to sign off. Thank you all for joining. Please hit us up with any questions you've got, and we'll be back with some more live classes soon.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, y'all. See you next time.